Diamondlot, The Diamond Squad. By Eric Waugh. Chapter 40. King's Fall. Through his war horn, Kevin yelled as loud as he could and Bella's eyes finally opened. Alex's body was weak as he was collapsing on the ground. Annabelle caught him and she tried to wake him up, but he would not respond. Then there was Gia, who was on one knee. She managed to stop the attack from reaching Nas and Charlotte, but now her own life was in danger. Charlotte caught Gia and placed her gently on the ground. Charlotte, Nas, and Annabelle turned to face the Mad King, even though their strength was near depleted. The Mad King was about to cast another deadly shockwave, but a spear was thrown where he stood. Everyone who saw Bella was thrilled about her return. The Mad King was anticipating a grand rematch against his previous rival, the legendary warrior. He swung the blade down, blasting a dark energy wave at Bella, but it had no effect on her. Seeing she needed a weapon, Gurunjan threw a spear over to Bella. Right when that happened, the Mad King swung his weapon and Bella blocked it. Somehow, Bella was holding her own against him, and not only that, seeing her stand up against the Mad King gave her comrades strength. The first person to get back some of her energy was Olivia. She used what she had left to cast a healing spell that affected most of her allies. The Mad King was so focused on trying to defeat Bella that he didn't notice what was going on. It took a moment for the two to separate from their stalemate before he suddenly saw that all the fighters he had defeated were standing again. He was about to swing with all his might to create the most catastrophic attack. Charlotte prevented him by holding up Desolator with her two daggers. The Mad King attempted to overpower her, but Nas jumped in and punched him away. He took a moment to catch his breath, but Jet's Shadow Beast had him restrained. Desolator was about to transform, but Rylin and Rihanna both attacked Desolator. Their efforts disrupted Desolator from changing forms, so the Mad King unleashed a loud warcry that sent Rylin, Rihanna, and Jet's Shadow flying. He attempted to swing Desolator again, but Ryan kept firing a steady stream of arrows towards him. While the Mad King was distracted, Sebastian returned with Coco, who ran over the Mad King and allowed Sebastian to steal Desolator. The Mad King used his dark magic to tangle Coco's legs, forcing the companion to trip and Sebastian to drop Desolator on the ground. Zaid's speed allowed him to grab the sword and run away. Again, the Mad King used his magic and the ground beneath Zaid's feet suddenly turned all muddy. Unable to move, Zaid threw the dark weapon and Zoe, who was on her stallion, grabbed the sword. The Mad King released an outburst of energy that struck Zaid and knocked Zoe off her steed. Finally, the Mad King reclaimed Desolator, and standing near him was Ava, who was armed with nothing except her smile. He was about to attack her, but he tripped over a hole and Ava was unharmed. He attempted his attack again, but Kevin appeared and blew the war horn, allowing Ava to escape. When the Mad King recovered, he saw Chelsea holding her sword out to challenge him. Her sword had been infused with Lilu's fire. The two swords clashed, and although Chelsea started strong, the Mad King empowered himself with greater strength. He was about to overpower Chelsea, but Annabelle and Charlotte both appeared to help. The Mad King couldn't predict their movement, and Desolator never touched them once. For the first time in a long while, the Mad King was worried about his survival. He launched an energy wave from his sword, hoping to strike out all three fighters, but they disappeared from his sight. As his attack missed, he saw two mages and a little dragon flying over them. Vance cast a lightning spell and Olivia cast a water spell. Then Lilu unleashed her fire breath, and the three attacks fused and struck the Mad King, shattering his armor. The Mad King refused to fall, but as he looked up he saw Bella standing alongside Nathan, who held his giant sword tightly. Bella picked Nathan up, and with all her might she threw Nathan at the Mad King. Nathan let out his signature warcry while using his whirlwind technique. The Mad King tried to use Desolator, but his weapon would no longer listen. He looked back to see Nathan, who delivered the final blow.